Hey, I'm JT. A bit about me. I work as an engineer in the area of generative artificial intelligence and do blockchain projects on the side. So lately, I've been exploring the field of cybersecurity and how it can be powered and enhanced by AI. And that's exactly what led me to uncovering the tech scam I'm going to present. Let me share with you how it all began with the objective to spread awareness, since these attacks, in my opinion, will only get more and more common. So, I was approached on LinkedIn for a tech position offering a salary range between $10,000 to $12,000 USD monthly. The recruiter seemed legitimate. They had over 500 connections and a strong profile, with multiple posts a week and a verified workplace badge. We went back and forth about the position, and after some talking, he proposed that I took the initial task, which appeared pretty straightforward. I was asked to quickly resolve a small bug in a MERN stack project, which a MERN stack uses MongoDB, Express, React, and Node. Now we're gonna go and dive into the scammers repository projects, see what they have, what projects they have, and everything. So first, when we land, we actually can see that they deleted their account, so we cannot access anymore. But we can still see their projects since I haven't closed the web page. Here are the different projects they have. They have an AI one, a blockchain, and full stack. Beside the AI one, there's an AI girlfriend. I actually went inside and looked at the README, and it didn't make sense. The README, it was completely not connected. The README talked about WebGL, and the name of this project is AI girlfriend. So that I started getting suspicious at that point because I've heard that a scam was going around LinkedIn by fake recruiters. I actually didn't know how it worked, so I was waiting to be targeted so I could do this. Then inside the blockchain project, we can see different repositories. We can see an art commerce, hotel the app, different NFT projects, and even an stacking the app. I was given this exact project. It's called Game Store. It's on the full stack project folder. So just looking at it, I don't see anything weird. It's just a simple game store, which is a pretty cool project. I haven't done one before, so I was actually intrigued to see how it worked and everything. It should have authentication, a way to secure payments, a database, some other things. But just by looking at the README and the repository, everything looks normal, everything looks good. They even tell you how to run it. And well, then I went and looked at the package.json. And here's what we saw. Here are the dependencies. Here's when I was started getting suspicious. As you can see, even if we build it on test, the Node backend will start, which I'm not really experienced in Node, but it triggered a few alarms in my head. So what I did was grab all the different dependencies that it downloaded, and I passed it to GPT, and we started going back and forth over each dependency, trying to look for something that might be fishy or that might be malicious. And here is our culprit: passport approved token. So after we found this weird dependency called passport approved token, then I went into the npm website to search for it, and we actually found it. I actually already took the necessary measures I messaged npm and I submitted a ticket, so hopefully they take it down soon. As you can see, they give credit to this guy who doesn't have an account anymore. So I think they are just recycling the packages once the accounts get banned. I actually have the package here. I installed it and I decompressed it so I could look into it. And from the README, it looks like a pretty normal package. It's well documented, but the initial README gives the credit to this person. I don't know if this is the real maintainer of a real passport approved token package or what. Hopefully they are not using his email to do this and he doesn't have an idea. Now we'll go and dive deep into the code and see why it's a malicious package and what it's exactly doing. So now we're gonna go and dive into the package. We're gonna see why is it malicious, what it actually does, and how, and why is it so dangerous to run things that you receive from the internet, even if it's from a trusted source. So here we can see the code, the different files it has. Everything looks pretty normal besides the README, if you pay attention. And here is the dangerous code. It's obfuscated JavaScript code. It actually uses hexadecimal strings. It transforms this hexadecimal into a require, this one into axis, and this one into a get call. So it decodes hexadecimal string into ASCII characters, and here's a result when we decode them all. It retrieves arbitrary code from an external URL by hitting this endpoint and executes the code directly in the environment using the eval. So this method dynamically fetches and runs code, and it's a classic indicator of malicious or a backdoor script. So we've previously analyzed this script in detail. It functions as the initial stage of the attack by retrieving and executing arbitrary remote code dynamically. It fetches malicious JavaScript payloads from an external URL and immediately evaluates them. So it allows attackers to execute any desired action, posing a severe security risk. So then we have to find where is this package and malicious code being used on the game store project that we were given by the fake recruiter. So we ran a grep on the entire code base and looked for exactly the name of the package, and we could see it being imported on the index file of the passport middleware. So this file initially seems like a standard passport.js middleware for JWT based authentication. However, it includes an unusual and suspicious import at the top that now we know is malicious. So here the integration of the suspicious package provides a direct path for attackers to manipulate or hijack the authentication process. Its presence indicates a deliberate attempt to compromise the user authentication and bypass standard security measures. So then we moved on to the next script that we found, and this file tries to mimic legitimate passport OAuth authentication logic, closely resembling Google's OAuth strategy. However, upon careful review of the code, it reveals significant red flags. For example, the presence of deliberated, obfuscated, redundant, and incorrect code segments. It suspiciously imports, for example, the first one we see at the top, that has no legitimate purpose within the OAuth workflow and has some incorrectly undefined and misused variables and OAuth functions, suggests that the code was just copied and pasted together to look like an OAuth file if one is not careful enough. So if we go to the next file, here we see the breach in the app. So this script explicitly demonstrates the malicious intent and confirms the suspicions we had at the start. It directly imports the malicious code, token.approve, which comes from the malicious code. and it then directly invokes it. This ensures immediate response from the remote payload execution, finalizing the malicious chain by running attacker-controlled code fetch from external sources. This is extremely dangerous. A malicious agent can get a hold of your PC by doing this. So now that we know that the package is malicious and how it connects and bridges to the entire project and what happens when we run it, I decided to explore what was in the API, what was in the endpoint, what will happen when I hit it. So I'm gonna show you. I actually did some reverse engineering, hit the endpoint, and it returned me some obfuscated JavaScript code as expected. Here it is. We can try to read this, but it's pretty difficult. We can see that it has the endpoint of the malicious API. It's doing something with my Solana wallet configuration, but we can actually deobfuscate this to see what it's actually doing. Here is the deobfuscated code, and after we run an analysis on it, here are our findings. It retrieves host information, like the platform, the directory where we are, and where it can create temporary directories for data exfiltration. Then it searches for sensitive data such as browser credentials, cryptocurrency wallets like the Exodus wallets or the Solana wallets. For example, we can actually see it right here and right here. Also, it looks for keychains, then it copies everything to a temporary hidden directory that it creates on our temporary directory. So it uses the same as the host machine. This happens before the exfiltration. Then it targets browser data and wallet data, like MetaMask and other Phantom, for example. Then it communicates to the endpoint that is controlled by the attacker and sends the temporal package with all our credentials. And then it downloads and executes further malicious code from the remote server, and this happens every 30 seconds. So once we run it, we are not safe. We will need to do an entire cleanup of our machine and rotate our keys, or we can get, or they can get all our crypto out or access our different files, have our different credentials, which is extremely dangerous. So now that we've finished exploring the malicious package and how it bridges to the code and the project, I just want to ask people to be careful when they are contacted by recruiters. Don't rush, take your time, read the dependencies, read the code, see what they are asking you to do. Don't let this happen to you. It could happen to anyone. It almost happened to me. Just think, be careful, and as always, awareness is key. Thanks.